later, but basically the slide demonstrates how other countries across the world have used real estate investment trusts to increase their housing stock. So we're not talking about something that is not tried and tested. We're not talking about something which is not proven. It has been done before. The other slide on REITs and what they are and how they work, I think I've tried to explain that. So that slide with the diagram basically shows the different players in that ecosystem and how those work.
So sorry, this is a question that we critically asked during the finance, when you're doing the finance bill. It is also a question that Kenyans have been asking, that what are the alternative sources of finance for these affordable houses other than the housing levy. And I think if there's a point you should dwell in is explain to us what this Sanduku initiative is and what this real estate investment trust you're calling. So if you're not doing housing levy, how else can you finance this issue of affordable housing? Those technical terms you're talking about, could you elaborate and break them to words that we can better understand and Kenyans can better understand?
Chairman, if I may break it down, what REIT means is actually a share in a housing estate. So that if you build 1,000 units, each of those 1,000 units will attract a rent to own for 15 years. Financially, you can be able to amortize or estimate how much will that owner in that house pay in 15 years. Then you go to an investor who is a pension scheme or a bank or an insurance company or a SACCO and tell them, I will sell you these receivables, which I would have kept for 15 years, but you buy them now and you continue receiving the rent. Now that works in all jurisdictions because in financial terms, I am better off buying that and giving those dividends to my members for 15 years, and I let you who is involved in development go and do another development because you are not in the business of keeping houses and collecting rent. Now that's what we are saying. Now it has been proved that that can become an investment option. Now to demonstrate to you where the money will come from, pension schemes as we speak have a stock of 1.6 trillion. The law allows them, this house created a law, a regulation, that they could invest in such schemes up to 30%. For the last many years, we have not utilized even 0.5% because it has not been practical. The incentives to invest in that has not been advanced. And that is one of the prayers we are putting through. Now, banks invest money in TBs, in the money market. As we speak today, because of the change in interest rates, all the bonds we bought at 10%, now trading at 20%, we can't sell. Because if we sell today, we are at a loss. But if we had invested in something with an asset behind it like this REIT, we are calling REIT, then we would not be at a loss. Because the houses appreciate by value, and the house I bought from you today, in 10 years, 15 years, will be double. So I'm better off holding that as an investment. Now, that is the option we are advancing. The money is available from the pension schemes, the money is available from banks, the money is available from insurance companies, the money is available from SACCOs. The issue which we have to deal with is trust. Because the property ecosystem has suffered trust deficit. As Kenyans, we only believe when we see the house. We don't want to pay and imagine we will construct. But if you deliver these houses, we'll be flocking there to buy them because we can see it. So what we are requesting, Chairman, in your committee, is we make those houses available and we will be spoiled for demand. Even in Narok, there are teachers, there are nurses who will buy those houses. Until those houses are available, teachers and nurses and civil servants are willing to commit on a rent-to-own basis for 15 years. An investor like me, I will buy those rentals for 15 years today as an investment, and I exit you, a developer, to go and develop in Kakamega. Now that is the ecosystem, Chairman, we are requesting your committee and this House to facilitate that the private sector helps government to intervene in this solution. It is doable. We only need to create trust. And since we have already created a stock of funds,
in which the government can actually invest, but the investment is very broad. Chairman, the way today in Safaricom, you might own 500,000 shares, somebody else owns 50,000 shares, I own 500 shares. That is exactly how a REIT is structured. So no one is listening to the people that have made presentations to this committee before. There is the issue of people feeling coerced to contribute or to remove their money. This is voluntary investment. Even for government, it is voluntary investment. Nobody is being boxed to a corner. You can invest any amount, just the same way you would invest when you're buying shares. Earlier, in the previous presenters, Chair, you asked about people at the bottom of the pyramid. Yes, people at the bottom of the pyramid can be able to invest in this asset or this security, because for all intents and purposes it's a security, and be able to earn a dividend from investing in the provision of housing for the Republic of Kenya. I'm going to jump, in the interest of time, I'm going to jump what we have written as our story. But to state, identify such other potential sources of housing units that can be incorporated into the affordable housing program, provided that these units do not require any allocation of funds under Section 11. So here what we're trying to say, Chairman, is that if the bill in its current form does not have room for private sector to bring in stock of houses to be part of the program. And with that, we shall have cured that problem. Our ask number 2 is insert new clause 42(2)(g) to state the manner and form by which real estate investment trust may develop affordable housing units under the affordable housing program. What we're trying to clear there, Chairman, is that the bill in its current form does not recognize real estate investment trusts as a viable avenue through which affordable housing schemes can be implemented. So we can come up with very beautiful projects as private sector. We can come up with 10,000 units, 50,000 units housing schemes. But if the law does not create a mechanism through which we can be incorporated, then it would be a waste of time. Finally, is insert clause 4(2) to state the management of the fund is established under Section 8 to allow private sector participation of institutions licensed by Capital Markets Authority.
I think on that point, Chairman, probably just to add the perspective from Fund Managers Association is that the request is to allow private sector to participate. I think we already have precedents on this. I think I'll point you to the precedents where, for example, NSSF, created by an Act of Parliament with a huge portfolio, huge fund, they do subcontract, where the board is responsible for policy and the management for administration. They have subcontracted aspects of their investments to private sector. So private sector can come in and play a very huge role. I think another precedent is on the PSSS, the Public Service Superannuation Scheme. Yes, they have their core mandate. They're able to then subcontract private sector to help manage the funds. I think the benefits of this are clear. One is that it improves governance around the management of those funds. Secondly, it creates public confidence so that, yes, there is accountability across how those funds are managed. But I think also more importantly is that it optimizes the return. So yes, there is already a return in terms of, selling the houses, the interest rate charged, but for the surplus funds that are held by through this levy, then those can be outsourced in terms of management to the private sector. And again, what we are saying here is that it's just not anybody in the private sector. Our suggestion is that there is a capital markets authority which regulates and licenses particular players within this space to help manage the surplus monies. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Again, in the interest of time, allow me, Chair, to just quickly sift through. So our asks are divided into two, Chairman. The first is amendments to the bill, the Affordable Housing Bill, and the second is amendments to the tax laws, which is what we're coming to seek from this House. We have laid a foundation, Chair, and I would like to just thank this committee on drafting and passing the national tax policy that was late last year. And in the tax policy, we were able to get a window through which we can be able to have tax exemption for real estate investment trusts through tax neutrality. So our two asks is, number one, stamp duty. That is section 96A4. Exemption for instruments to which paragraph 1B applies shall only have effect in respect of instruments executed before 31st December. That is what the law reads. So what is our proposal? We propose to delete that clause. What is our justification? The exemption actually existed, but with a limited time frame that did not provide for sufficient time for the benefits of the exemption to be realized. The proposed removal of the time limitation shall enable us advance our rights. So it was there before, Chairman, only that it was given a very short shelf life that we were never quite able to benefit. Our second request, Chairman, is an amendment to the 8th schedule. This is with regards to capital gains tax. So we propose the addition of a new clause 3.4 with the following paragraph: the gain accruing on any transfer of property in any real estate investment trust regulated by CMA. Our justification is the proposed addition shall enable us exempt real estate investment trusts from capital gains tax. Chairman, our reasoning is very simple. If we're going to get into transactions where we're getting a developer to create stock of houses, then for those houses to be offloaded to investors, you're still imposing upon him or her a capital gains tax. How will they ever be able to build houses and dispose them? So it appears like we're shooting ourselves in the foot. We're trying to create a stock of houses, then saying that let us tax whoever is providing the stock of houses. Private sector, Chair, and I can sincerely tell you this, is interested in playing in this space and providing affordable houses. We're not asking for any special treatment. All we are saying, these taxes that just make the delivery of the houses even more difficult, can we do away with them? And we're just talking basically about two taxes, and we shall be good. Finally, Chair, our last slide. Our proposal is not divergent from our national aspirations. I think, as we said earlier, everybody believes that and agrees that we should have affordable housing. Our proposal to use real estate investment trusts aligns with this. We also seek the favor of this House. Our prayers, Chair, is that should you accept, or should your committee accept our proposals, our request would be that the urgency of time, how soon would we be able to execute this for us to be able to play our part in increasing the housing stock. Finally, Chair, I just need to emphasize, we are not mango growers trying to sell bananas. The team of people you see here, that is the Kenya National REITs, the Nairobi Securities Exchange, the stockbrokers, the fund managers, the real estate investment trusts, and the Association of Pension Trustees and Administrators of Kenya. The ecosystem that we have within this team can be able to deliver the affordable housing end to end. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. That was quite a new thinking and a new kind of presentation. Are there questions from honourable members?
Chairman, if you allow me just to make one small clarification.
Proceed.
The guidelines and affordable housing as they stand do exempt stamp duty to the first house owner. Your first time to own an affordable house, you are exempted from stamp duty. But a REIT is a body corporate. So we are saying that that should be extended to include the REIT itself. Because remember, the REIT will be off-taking in bulk. So I just wanted to make that clarification so that we don't assume that is already provided for.
But are you sure that that the first ownership of affordable houses is exempt from excess duty? Which law? Or from stamp
duty, Chairman.
From stamp duty.
Yes.
Did we pass that yet?
That's what, unless that has been
We
also.
will find out, because unless it was that before last year, in the 1 year that we have been on this committee, I don't remember, but no. Now, so those are good proposals. However, we have one limitation on this bill. This bill does not amend the Excise Duty Act, and therefore we cannot introduce an amendment to the Excise Duty Act at this stage. But we'll soon be processing the finance bill of 2024. So that would be a good time to sensitize this committee again on that. That's a very brilliant idea, so that we take out use of public funds, and this becomes like the kickstart to the project. It builds trust in the market. It provides the funds, and then it is taken over by the existing ecosystem of the fund managers, of the circles, and the REITs. And I was thinking this will even be a big boost to the Nairobi Securities Exchange, that we haven't been seeing a lot of activities lately. All right, kuna swali? Honourable Vice Chair.
Sorry, Chair, I got late. My name is Benjamin Agat, MB Ainamui and Vice Chair. Now, I have listened to your proposal, especially in terms of fixing yourself in the sharing of the fund. You have created a space somewhere for the private sector, where you are saying up to, I think, 66%. And I heard the chairman asking, what are the alternative sources of funds? I didn't hear you where you are leaving people. You didn't get a space there. How do you propose that we get, I think that question will come out clearly. How do you propose other sources of funding to this housing other than what you are proposing in the bill? Because we seem to be targeting the amount collected, but we don't want to increase the cake. So I didn't quite hear how you propose to get additional funds as experts of the money market and the capital markets.
Any of you can respond to the question? Honourable Paul has a question too.
No, maybe I just appreciate the presenters, because you really presented so well, and you've given us a different angle, different school of thought, and you really executed it well. But my take would be that I know government is not a very good businessman and business partner, but now that we are going to have, we are retreating to go and discuss about this issue, I think it is important for us as the committee members to actually try and see how to incorporate your thinkings. But actually, I've liked the idea because you really come out very strongly, and you have proved that you have done others similar to this and they have worked. But all said and done, it was a good presentation in my take. Thank you. So thank you very much. Please respond briefly.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members. I think the question was really on how are we going to make the pie to grow. And from us, from the Nairobi Securities Exchange, we currently have 1.6 trillion trading in shares and 4.6 trillion where we are also doing the government stock. We are looking at this real estate investment trust actually being able to surpass even that 1.6 trillion of the equity, the shares. So we are a public market. So even partnering with government, the 4.6 trillion that we've been able to help create a secondary market for is actually for government stock. So I believe we would be, and we represent the face that would be there to help government and partner with government to raise these funds. We also have within our membership APTAC, which is the pension funds. Pension funds have 2 trillion, from 1.5 to around 2 trillion currently. So from the pensions that people have, then we can use that capital efficiently to be able to make this dream of affordable housing to come to pass. So like we also mentioned, we're already doing it. We have Kwetu, maybe you've seen buses going around. That's a REIT. That's already a REIT that is already operational. We have Kejani. So I believe we should be able to make this a reality, and hence, like CEO really has mentioned, we want to be able to move with speed, and if we can get those